Welcome to MPUNGWE-PUNGWE YouTube channel. Subscribe for you to enjoy more of our videos anytime we upload.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir. Without necessarily reflecting on you, sir, but as you sit on that desk and table, you have enormous powers, but I see that you are restraining yourself, because some of us were waiting for that particular time that you are going to rule on 105. And we don't understand why you are not doing it. Because we needed to bring sanity and discipline in this house. We need discipline in this house. This is a serious house. It's a serious house. We come here to represent our constituencies, our people. And they expect us to do just that. Imagine to take questions, and we cannot do that. I would want to appeal to you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir. You have all the powers. When people stand and you tell them to sit down, they don't, you have all the powers. Do what you can do to bring sanity in this house. I submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Zagasina, please resume your seat. I'm not trying to. Honorable Zagasina, learn to wait for the chair to make some rulings before you would rise for anything else you would like. It is your house. It is our house. And no one will be gagged. I want to give directions as follows. Honour members, I have given several guidance on the issue under the floor. Any attempt to change my ruling is reflecting on the chair. Because when the chair makes a ruling, you have to that ruling. You don't come back an hour later to try to attempt getting a new ruling. It is like you are trying to bribe my memory or my intelligence. Honour members, my intelligence is very intact, and I stand with my ruling. My ruling is that report is a government business. It was sanctioned by government. Government has looked at the agenda. It is on the notices for the next business, and we have advised the committee to meet. If the committee does not meet, then we will act at speakership level. Thank you. Leader.
As we are reflecting on this discussion, I know, First Deputy Speaker, you've already made a ruling. But I wanted to bring to attention Standing Order 177.
Members.
The Standing Order says, and I've said this repeatedly, we must allow the committee to do its work to its logical conclusion. Where individuals have been mentioned and have not yet appeared, that is against our own standing orders. Let me read Standing Order 177 for the benefit of this House. Where evidence is given or a statement is made during the proceedings of a committee that contains allegations against or that may seriously damage the reputation of a person, the committee shall take steps to have that person informed informed of that evidence or statement, and to have a reasonable opportunity to respond to that evidence or statement within a reasonable time by written submission or appearance before the committee.
Written or...
Leader, thank you for your guidance. Honour members, the guidance as it stands, anyone that has been mentioned or an allegation has been made of them at the inquiry should be heard to, should be summoned to come and appear, either physical or by responding in writing. I therefore rule.
First Deputy Speaker, your ruling and the guidance provided by the leader of the House. What happens then in an event where the committee, as guided by your high self, does deliberate on a report, the committee adopts the report without considering the other points as raised by the honorable leader? What does your chair do in that kind of a case? Where we have a case now that adopted a report and the committee is ready to table the report, but then a member of the executive stands and calls off the same report. Who is controlling the reports in this case? And then the leader says the report is half-baked. How does he know it is half-baked when they have not read the report? Where have they seen the report?
Thank you, Honorable Whip. Your question is, what happens in this situation? What happens is as guided in the morning. The chairperson of the committee needs to convene another meeting of the committee. They have to reconvene a meeting of the same committee. That's according to our procedure. And it is that meeting, because the report is not yet tabled, it is at that meeting where the decision can be rescinded and continue with the inquiry. Honourable members, I haven't concluded. Honourable members, I haven't concluded my ruling. Honourable members, I haven't concluded my ruling. But if during that meeting they discover that their capacity to continue is compromised, they will report back to this House and an ad hoc committee will be considered to continue with the work the committee has started. That's the procedure of this House. So if the members of this committee believe they cannot continue, we will take away the work from them and give it to an ad hoc committee. I therefore rule. And honour members, before leader of opposition, there are names out there that have been mentioned. There are names out there that have been mentioned that we've received letters from organizations I have mentioned that have questioned why have those not been invited to appear before the inquiry. And we believe those people need to clear themselves. So the committee needs to do that. Leader of opposition.
Honorable First Deputy Speaker, hearing from both sides, you would still and agree with me, First Deputy Speaker, that the report is very important. And probably, maybe the modus operandi on how this has to be disposed of is where the House is failing to agree. But I thought we have leadership from both sides, and that listening carefully, none of them is refusing for the report to be tabled. First Deputy, maybe where we needed to get clarity, I don't know whether it is from the chairmanship or from the leadership, is what happens and which standing order should we use when it seems the report was adopted, but there's still some work to be done. Do they go back and work on a report which is already adopted, or there is a standing order that would probably cover this? One thing, First Deputy Speaker and the House, is that this report, whenever it gets presented, is going to settle the matter and clear the issues. It would also be a relief to some of the people that are haunted by this report. Therefore, when we sit here and discuss, we need to discuss seriously and provide a direction that will lead to a logical conclusion. Do we go and work on the adopted report, or we have probably a standing order that would help us, because this is a house of record. First Deputy Speaker, And then, as I...
Honour members, order. When the leaders are on the floor, honour members, when the leaders are on the floor, we give them more time. And
Okay.
Can we allow them to be listened to in silence?
First Deputy Speaker, because the report is not submitted in the House or presented, whether it was adopted or not adopted, it's the hearsay that we are getting, which can be confirmed by the leadership of the committee. It is of paramount importance that when we seem not to be agreeing here, there are some things that are happening involving some of the key stakeholders. Some of us have actually seen the Homeland Ministry releasing a public release, but also some are talking about the withdrawals. You remember, First Deputy Speaker, that some of us don't want to speak from point of no knowledge. We want to speak from point of knowledge with empirical evidence. If we could get a clearer direction on how this matter can be dealt with, I think both sides would actually agree, and then we reach a logical conclusion. I hope that would have helped us without hurting others. Let the natural justice prevail, and I hope leadership can provide that kind of leadership. I submit, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Leader of Opposition. Leader?
First Deputy Speaker, I listened very, very attentively to the submission by the Leader of Opposition. And I would like to say the following, that there are times when people choose deliberately to move away from the truth. And that's one thing that some of us do not like. I have guarded this House on 3 occasions on this matter, and I stand by that guidance. I will not move an inch on that position, because I have actually quoted the relevant standing order that is instructing me. Read the standing order and it will provide you exactly what I've been saying in this House. Afford everybody mentioned an opportunity to be heard. It's as simple as all that. That's why I said in the morning, I am becoming suspicious as to why we seem to be very impatient, rushing. Where are we rushing to? We never gave this committee timelines. We never did. So I'm surprised. Where are we rushing to? We don't want baked report. That statement is what I said in the morning, and it remains as such, because the standing order says so. So you cannot have a report that much as you've not seen it, that is going to come in this House, that they want to present in this House, that has not, captured. That has not captured information for others that have been mentioned. A seller in this context, and one very key important person, a very important person who sat in the OPC, who has not been interviewed. We've been watching the inquiry live on TV. Maybe there was a meeting somewhere, maybe in the night, that some of us did not see, where these people appeared. I have been watching this inquiry myself, so I know what I'm talking about. Read Standing Order 177, it will guide you accordingly, and I don't want to go beyond that. I thank you.
Honour members, with that guidance from the leader, let me as follows. I will give you, with the guidance from the leader and quoting Standing Order 107, honour members, it is, if it was you and me mentioned in that inquiry, and we were not accorded an opportunity to be heard, and the judgment passed affects you and me, we should think that way. Some members of the public have been mentioned by several other people. There is a public outcry out there that mentions reformer SPC as to have run away, which is not healthy to the public. to us, you know the issues surrounding that name. You know the issues surrounding the seller of this hotel. Can we allow, as guided by the leader, that the people being mentioned should be allowed to appear? And if we believe the committee cannot do it, let us know. I'll finish by Pilanjuzi and I'll close this subject.
Thank you so much. Firstly, Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, I want to bring to your attention that as guided by you in the morning when I brought these issues, I was guided to formally bring up the matter in the House in accordance with our standing orders, and I chose Standing Order 13 to bring the matter, but I've been denied the right to bring the matter in the House because the minister responsible is not here, despite that the fact that that standing order does not really require the Honorable Minister to respond to the matter because it's brought under Standing Order 13. Secondly, Deputy Speaker, it's very concerning, and I'm very shocked and sad that as a House, even our leadership, we are falling over this report. You remember, Deputy Speaker, I was the one who brought this matter in this House, and that led to the formation of the committee to inquire into the Amaris Hotel. And I said at that point in time that you do not form a committee in order to kill a snake. This is exactly what I meant, because look like everything in this country has stopped simply because of a report, a parliamentary report that really in its effect cannot do anything because it just recommends, Mr. Speaker. Sinja South, my neighbor, brought a very important matter in this House, that funds that were frozen on the Amaris deal are being withdrawn as we speak now. And as a House, we seem to be falling over this report when the funds are being withdrawn right now. Mr. Speaker, we are people's representatives. All of us from this side, that side, we need to be concerned about the theft of the public resources.
Honorable member.
Going round over a month.
Honorable member. Honorable member, please resume your seat. Honorable member, if it is, honorable member, you continue, leader, I will recognize you. Honorable member, you continue to mislead Malawians. I guided you. Honour members, order, order to my right, order to my right, order to my right. Honour members, let me emphasize here. If we make allegations to this House, Malawians are listening to those allegations. I did guide the honourable member for Lilongwe for the records of this House and for Malawians to know that he should bring the issue he brought in the morning on the adjournment motion under Standing Order 13, which I accepted he did.
Who asked a question under Standing Order 69 this morning submitted the question to your office. It also came to us. And as I speak, the Minister of Justice is on his way to come and respond to the same question. That's number one. Number two, it makes some of us feel very sad that a seasoned member of his stature, of his caliber, can walk out on the speaker, highly experienced, very intelligent, walks out on the speaker, demeaning the office of the speaker.
And he wanted this. Why are being addressed?
It does not look good. Your office, not reflecting on your office, must seriously look at such issues. Because at the end of the day, they will border on indiscipline. Yes. They will border on indiscipline. I will not walk out on the speaker in this house, no matter how difficult the situation would be, because that forms part of the core discipline of this house. Parliamentary decorum. You will have to reflect on that. It does not look good. I submit first of the speaker.
Thank you very much, Leader, for that. And I will consult the Speaker on the same, because we would like to praise the members that are still staying in the opposition, including the Leader. It shows the fight against corruption, colleagues, is not a one-man's job. It is for all of us to fight corruption, and we need to unite to fight corruption. Our actions, our conduct should show Malawians that we are not just doing politics, but we are here as leaders to serve them better. That's why you have observed since morning, I've allowed point of orders from both directions. I could have suspended this subject matter in the morning and could not have allowed anyone to speak on it. I have those powers, but I've allowed members to contribute because of the decorum of this House. So I will refer the issue of Lilongwe Pilanjuzi to the office of the Speaker for an appropriate action and appropriate ruling. I therefore rule. Honour members, it is 16:02. I therefore suspend proceedings for a half a break. The House will resume sitting at 16:30.
Welcome to MPUNGWE-PUNGWE YouTube channel. Subscribe for you to enjoy more of our videos anytime we upload.